What's goody peeps? Welcome to another Candid Talks with Tenn, episode 6. It's about reclaiming your space. So reclaiming your space can be both mentally and physically. You could be reclaiming the space in your head, or you could be reclaiming the space in your home, right? It's December 18th. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, be about it, okay? Reclaiming your space. How many of you guys can't function with clutter? You need to clean that corner space in a room. You need to get all the items off the table. You need to do the dishes. You need to rearrange your closet. Like, how many of y'all suffer with that? I know for me, I feel a lot better when I start decluttering. Like, I have a lot of things that I don't want to get rid of. Then when I get rid of them, not that I miss them, but I'll look for them when I'm doing something else. And I'm like, oh, I could have used that for this, but I gave it to Goodwill, right? Or whatever other thrift store, whoever takes items that you no longer need, right? Like today, me and my friend was just talking about how good it will be because I'm starting my cleanse again. My cleanse starts on Sunday. For the few of y'all who watch, I need y'all to keep me accountable, okay? I know y'all been seeing the little workout videos, the little Barbarisha the Builder videos, right? There's a certain type of realm I'm trying to create for myself, right? I'm gonna try not to move too much because the autofocus is on, so wherever I move, it's gonna move just like that, okay? In my face, okay? But let's get back on topic, okay? I need to reclaim my space in a couple different ways, right? As some of you may know, I am an artist, so it's very easy for me to have things all over the place at any given time, right? Right now, I have brand new canvases. I have like 3 or 4 pieces. Let me see, it's probably more than that. I have 1 piece that I'm almost done with. I have 2 pieces in the front room on the table. I have I have a hubcap that I need to finish. All the stuff that's in my brain, that definitely needs to be decluttered immediately. There are a few things that I need to declutter and reclaim my space with, right? Especially in the art room, okay? So I have one corner for the workouts. I have another corner for the podcast. I have the front corner for the art table. I have a TV in here. I have paintings everywhere that needs to be placed, replaced, rehomed. All of these things, right? I do have a couple of pieces above me, but I chose to put the autofocus on. So, yeah, I'm working on the kitchen tonight, right? And time has slept on by me. I went into one of my art brother's lives as he was creating, and I realized I haven't really been creating. I usually find spaces to do sketches here and there, a little unspoken spoken word, if you know what I mean. I'll write it down. Nobody ever hears it. I have a lot of creative outlets, right? But as I was trying to reclaim my mental, I was thinking about I have to first start with my space. I have to first be comfortable in my space, right? And the reclaiming the mental sparked that. So I'm the type of person that loves communication. I don't like communication. I've been in a few relationships that didn't revolve around communication and things got misconstrued, misinterpreted, all of these things, right? So I like to talk. Auntie likes to talk, and Auntie likes to talk a lot, okay? Reclaim your space. reclaim your mind. If you're not at peace with something, be honest with yourself, right? There was something that I wanted for so long. And I mean, been working over a decade, almost two. Um, to try to come to grips with if I lose it, right? And I won't tell y'all how many years, but it's been some years, right? And I feel like I've invested that time that I can't get back into this situation. And I see a few patterns that I've seen before, right? I've tried to communicate, I've tried to find a way to disrupt those patterns, right? So, and this has nothing to do with the overthinking or the over analytical part of my brain, right? And I know what makes me happy, right? If I ask a question, I expect there to be an answer and not dismissiveness. I don't like my feelings to not feel valid, and I don't like to feel dismissed. Those are the two ways you can lose me, right? Even when it comes down to career choices. If I feel like I'm not being heard, or I'm not being seen, or I'm being misunderstood, that's going to lead me down a road to a different career, right? I'm not going to sit well with that, because I know me, I know my temperament. As calm and as docile as I may appear to be, I'm not, right? And to keep from losing the time that I've invested into a situation, I've taken a few days to just reevaluate and to see if that thing was what I thought it was, right? Was I really dismissed? Was I, and not even in a second guessing myself type of way. It's just more or less like, I know I'm not overreacting, but I'm also not a person that's really great with words. Even though I like to talk a lot. And half of the time it may not sound like I'm making sense, but keep tracking like the auto track. Okay? But I want y'all to understand, it's okay. It's okay to reclaim that space. It's okay to feng shui in a sense. Like I said, not just the physical, but the mental, right? I don't want to say this situation makes me unhappy, but I'm kind of nonchalant at this point, right? If you've been going down the same rabbit hole, the same loop, seeing the same patterns, doesn't mean that situation is not ready to change. That just means that situation isn't ready to change for you, right? And you can have a high level of regard for that matter, whatever it may be. And although you're feeling very let down, you still have a sense to please, if that makes sense. But when are you going to choose you, right? So I wanted to say to you guys that I'm not telling y'all to do this. I'm not telling you to be like me at all, right? Because I like having my own little thing, my own little shink da dink, okay? I like that about me. Every year, and this isn't a New Year's resolution or anything like that, every year I reevaluate the whole 365 days, or whatever number of day that I'm on. We're December 18th, okay? Don't ask me to do the math. I hate math, okay? But I evaluate the year, the progress that's been made in a year, the progress that's been made in the last 2 years, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, right? And I know for me that I've come a long way. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. As emotional of a person that I am, I also tend to, or I used to, hold things in. And I don't even know if that has anything to do with me being a Cancer, but I just know me in general. If I like someone, or I love someone, or if I like something, or I love something, I will hold things in to respect said individual, said thing, said whatever. And in that moment, I'm not being true to myself, right? Because I just told y'all, the old me would blow up, right? But there was a lead up to the blow up. There was, this keeps happening, this keeps happening, this keeps happening, this keep happening, and then boom, I'm an explosion. So although it felt really great, not every time, but most times it felt really great to just release, right? And this was before journaling, before any of that. And I've always, in a sense, journaled. I just never journaled as much as I probably should have been journaling. Okay. I come from a journaling family. All right. Journaling, poetry, artists, crafters. So, aside from, career wise, but I come from that type of background to where I come from an expressive background, right? There's always a little back and forth, a little give, a little take, but you get into that pattern to where you give, you give, you give. And it could be a misunderstanding. You may just feel like you're giving because you don't know what's being sacrificed on the other side, right? But for you to give and you never really feel that give back, right? You never feel like you're on the receiving end. I'm gonna just say it for what it is. It fucks with your mental, okay? And especially if you've been in that place before and you vowed to yourself you're never gonna go back to that place, right? That place, to that one time I was really hurt by this one thing, right? And you start to feel like you're heading back in that direction to where you're just gonna blow up. So you have to order your steps, you have to order your words, you have to woosah and reclaim that space. Okay. Like I said, both mentally and physically. So now that I've started cleaning a little bit, I got a little clean therapy. I'm not gonna finish because Auntie gotta work. Okay. I felt such a peace when I reclaimed my kitchen. All right. Semi, not all the way, because I still got the artwork in there, because that's the largest space where I can put a 6-foot table. Let's be honest, okay? It's the Last Supper table that I got the artwork sitting on. But I realized as I was doing that, like I really need to reclaim the space up here, okay? And so I don't want this to be like a super long video, but I'm trying to word things to where I'm not giving y'all too much, okay? I don't need y'all in my business, but this is a podcast. Dare I say it? This is a podcast, okay? But yeah, I don't want to get into that space to where I can't talk to someone, right? If I'm talking to you and I'm being dismissed, or my feelings aren't valid, pretty soon I'm gonna start talking at you. And when you respect somebody, or you have that history, you don't want to get to that talk at stage. You want to be able to talk to, but if that person isn't talking to you back, right? then the shit hits the fan. Okay. But yeah, the moral of the story, the whole point of this rambling that I do, which is why this is Candid Talks with Tenn, because I get lost in my own head, baby. Yes, I get lost in the sauce. Okay. But I'm joking, people, relax. Okay. But yeah, when you get into that space to where you feel like you've given all that you gave and you keep getting the same result time after time after time, it makes you reevaluate things. Is it worth continuing if you're sacrificing all the hard work that you put in, right? You've gotten the help. You've been to therapy. You've talked to whoever you needed to talk to. And you still feel like with this particular situation, you're not there, right? You're going to have to move around. You're going to have to shake something. You're going to have to do something other than what you've always done. Let that first step be, besides loving yourself, because I'm big on self-love. Now I got candles, I got snacks, I got lights, camera, action, baby. I got everything, okay? But let that first step be reclaiming your space. Mental or physical. Or both of them. Because you don't want to get to that explosive stage. It's not going to be good for either party involved. It's not going to be good for either situation. A lot of times you see people react impulsively and react off of emotion. And had they just stopped and took that moment to realize they needed to reclaim that space, I think they would have been all right. But I know for me, I got off the last topic within a topic. There's always a topic within a topic, baby. Okay. What I was trying to tell y'all before I got distracted by my headphones. Okay. Every year, I say I'm not taking the old shit into the new year, right? And I stand beside that. I'm not taking the same patterns into the new year. I'm not taking the same behavior. It's easy for one to hide behind work, behind a certain situation, behind whatever, and say, well, that's just me. You either take it or leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because I can know that you can do better, but if you don't do better for yourself, then what is we doing, baby? You know what I mean? Like, every day I get off, I'm like, I know this room could be cleaner. I know this room. Most times the nap wins, okay? I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna snack, or I'm gonna snack and I'm gonna lay down. But most of the time, like, okay, I need to straighten up the art room. And I'll come put some icing on the cake. I'll come put some bandages on the problem. I'll move something from this corner to that corner, or that corner to this corner, or just spread it evenly across the room, right? That's not fixing the problem. And I think I talked about it on the last episode. It's kind of like playing this or that, tit for tat. You may like something one week and you may love it that week, but once you love something, I don't think you can revert back to liking, right? Love is a little bit stronger. Love means you can get through whatever that struggle may be. Liking means, eh, I'm 50-50. I can take it or leave it, right? And the moment you dismiss that thing that you say you love, but really you like, you see what I'm saying? It makes it a little bit more easier. If I like something, I can let it go. But if I love something, I'm gonna try to hold on. And I love reclaiming my space. I love reclaiming my mental. I love me, essentially. I love me first, right? And if I've given everything that I feel like I got, or not even given everything that I got, you have to be in closer proximity to give something everything you got, right? I don't even want to say I've given it my all. I've given it every opportunity to grow. And each time I already know I'm not good with plants, right? I don't have a green thumb. So let's just call this thing a plant. You pour into it, you pour into it, you pour into it, and then eventually you feel like you're overwatering it when you don't see that seed sprout, right? Or that seed will turn into a sprout, but it won't ever grow leaves, right? Or the flower won't ever bud, or the pepper won't ever grow, right? But you know it's capable of doing so much more. But the roots may already be spread thin, right? They're being pulled in this direction, that direction, everywhere but in your direction, right? And have you seen two opposite sides of a magnet? I would get up and give you an example because I do actually have magnets because I have everything, okay? I have, it's horrible. I have everything. But opposites don't always attract, right? You may want with your whole heart for those two negative ends to come together, but they're always gonna pew, right? They're always gonna shoot apart. They're always gonna drift apart, and they will get real close. They will get right about to where the tips touch and go flying in the opposite direction, right? I'm gonna end it with reclaim your space. Feng shui your mind. Feng shui your life. Feng shui your room. Because I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Good night. Bye.